Guys, good morning. Happy Saturday. Are you in?
I'm in.
You look so far away.
Yeah, because my legs are longer here.
I'm sorry. Eddie's with us today, you guys. So we know that there's a time change or a time difference between, where some of you are. So this was a convenient time for us because Eddie's getting ready to go to work. But you can watch this all day long and leave comments, and we will see those throughout. So I'm hoping that your Insta challenge is going really well. We've had 6 days so far and lots of growth. I've seen all of your posts and have been trying to comment on all of them, so I'm really proud of you. These people have seen like really great results, and I know you're so far. You're not even in. Come this way. Let's look like we like each other. All right. So today we're going to talk about asking for referrals. So we've already identified your target customer. We already know how to talk to them. We already know that all of the information that you're posting on social media should be one of three things. Informative, which informative example would be, wow, that's good info. So they read it, it's informational. It could be, give me some informative post examples. Something that...
Like facts, things that people don't think about all the time that you're kind of enlightening them with.
So we've done some posts this week that have been very informative. It has been informative when we did sacrifice, hard work. That would be an example of something that's informative that you provide to a customer. Another thing would be useful. So something useful would be where they say, oh my God, thank you so much. That's awesome. So useful could be, the Cake Mamas is posting that we're doing Friday night bites on a certain Friday, and you can get $1 mini cupcakes. And so we would ask you to tag a friend because that's something that's useful. People want to save money.
It can also teach them how to do something in the baking world. So if you're giving them a tip around how to, make a particular flavor of something, I think that would be something that's useful.
Like a tutorial.
A tutorial, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. And lastly, entertaining. So that could be a funny quote. That could be something that makes them laugh out loud. That could be just something that's super funny and they just feel like it brought them joy.
Yeah.
What have you read or seen lately on social media that was like an LOL or something that was entertaining?
It's usually some kind of crazy video somebody posts that just happens.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What were you showing me last night? Oh, some lady was doing something in the gym and she got really hurt, and I don't know why you thought it was funny. But...
I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was just like, oh my God, that's, I think some things that are...
They're shareable.
They're shareable, they're entertaining, they make you gasp, or they make you laugh, or, whatever those emotions are that you can associate with entertainment, but...
Right.
There's a lot out there.
So again, informative, useful, or entertaining is the rule that I've taught you. And so with that said, today we're talking about referrals. So today, what do you have to say about referrals?
It is
They're different than they used to be, right?
Yeah, referrals have changed. I think that in the days of sales, you would ask someone, hey, tell a friend that I'm in real estate, and I think that people still do that, but I think that now...
People are looking for something from you. Like, what are you going to give me? So, go ahead.
No, exactly that. People are looking for things that, if I'm going to refer something for you, what am I getting out of it? So it's kind of selfish, but I think that now people don't like to be sold. I think marketing has to be more unique. It has to be more authentic. And it can't be that salesy thing that people used to do to sell their products and to get referrals. So I think now it's got to be innovative.
So think like old school used car salesman, right? Which I come from a whole line of my family has owned car dealerships my entire life. And so used car salesmen in particular have a terrible rap, right? Hey, so can I get 3 phone numbers from 3 of your friends? And like we know as consumers, they're just going to call and badger them. So in today's world, we don't do that. Like we are so protective of our friends and family. And so when someone asks you for a referral, think about this. Like, would you just give up your friends and family's information? No. So I know that if I'm a customer in a business somewhere, that there's a really good chance if I liked something that my friends and family who are also like-minded, they're most likely going to be able to benefit from this too. So today we want to talk to you about giving them something that's shareable, that makes them compelled to want to share your story. That's how we ask for referrals in today's market.
And also, just to add to that, it's the ultimate compliment. And I think that you would love to get to a point where your product is so good that people have to tell other people about it. We are in a kind of a shareable community environment through social media, so people want to share because they want people to know that they have the credibility to give them something. We have people that if they give us food recommendations, we're like, that's okay.
Because we know that we've listened to them and our taste buds are not the same. How could you blast them like that? That's
I'm
funny.
just saying that's a big thing. So if people are sharing or referring your business and you're not coming with the product or the value, they're going to lose credibility. So they know that their credibility is at stake.
Yes, this person does not know that we do not appreciate their food suggestions.
Yeah, we're really passive aggressive. Like, oh no, I think we're gonna be busy all week during the time
you're making us sound terrible. Wait, so I have to tell you this story now. So we love food. We're big foodies. We went to New York recently. We asked for food suggestions. I swear we went to almost every single suggestion, right? So we love referrals and recommendations, and we're really big on that too. If we find something we love, we become an enthusiastic advocate for this business, and we send everyone. So that's just to kind of give you a heads up, because we're not assholes. But we have these friends that we love and adore, and every single time they tell us a story about food, they're so passionate about it, and they're so excited. And so we've gone to probably 4 different places, and each time, even our kids are like, what is wrong with their food preferences? So we just laugh. When they give us a food suggestion, we're almost like, oh, no, run the other way. But it's just funny. So that
and then they go, did you go? I go, oh, no, we went there, we're closed. Sorry. They ran out of everything that you said that was good, so we went somewhere else.
You are
Unfortunately,
ridiculous.
your credibility is jacked up with us right now.
Okay, let's get you back on track, because this is not what we're talking about. So we're talking about referrals today, mean that you want to share your experiences, and it's more about storytelling. So an example of storytelling would be the bagel store in Brooklyn. So they have such a great story. They've been making bagels from scratch for 20 plus years, and all of a sudden one day the owner decides he wants to put food coloring in it to jump on this unicorn craze. And so they do, and then the rainbow bagel breaks the internet, and now every bagelery across the world makes these rainbow bagels. So we went all the way to Brooklyn. We had to be a part of the original story of why they made rainbow bagels. When we got there, I asked them, and so then not only did I ask them, I stood outside for 10 minutes. We did a full photo shoot, and I was so compelled by their story. This hardworking small little bagel shop in the middle of Brooklyn. Not a great area, and they broke the internet. I was just so compelled to share that, so I did a 15-minute live and shared the story, and it inspired so many people, and now we're really good Insta friends, and we're always liking each other's stuff. So that would be an example of, not necessarily asking for referrals. They didn't ask me for referrals, but I was compelled based on the storytelling that they've been doing to ask people to go support their business. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
So, what I said in the previous post was storytelling or asking for referrals is harder than you think, but it's also not exactly what you're thinking. So asking for referrals is kind of a misleading topic header. We don't want you to be like, hey, can you send me some business? We're going to teach you 5 different ways on how you can ask for referrals, without asking actually for a referral. So again, you've got to give them something in order to be able to receive something from them. Are you okay?
Oh, sorry.
What are you doing?
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So number 1, you could give them vulnerability. You could open up and talk about something that you're going through, then ask for suggestions. So an example would be, there's a blogger that I follow, and yesterday she put this really vulnerable picture of herself up, and she was, in a bra and panties. It was very tasteful. It wasn't raunchy. And she went on and on about loving her body after having 2 miscarriages. And then she opened up and said that her doctor, who's trying to find out all the things that may be wrong with her on why she's not able to conceive properly, mentioned that she has a high gluten intolerance. So she's got this huge allergy for gluten. So she goes on and on about being vulnerable, about showing her body, about loving her body, about the pain of having a miscarriage. And at the very end, she said, can you guys tag some resources down below with your favorite gluten-free accounts or websites? And so that was a way for her to ask for referrals or recommendations from her community by doing it through vulnerability. You have anything? It's good.
No, I think that's good. I think that when you make people feel something, they want to share that feeling, and hopefully you make them feel good. But sometimes you make them feel compassionate, and I think and empathetic. And so I think when you read that, I felt empathetic to. Oh my God, I think I looked at that a little bit differently.
Right. So at first, I'll be honest with you, I saw her in a bra and panties, and she's not heavier, she's curvier. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe she posted this. Like, I know how vulnerable that is from our days when we were bodybuilding and doing competitions, to put your body out there on the internet for people to critique and look at. Hi, Juanita. Is definitely something that makes you vulnerable. So I had to read, I was compelled to read. And then she was asking for suggestions on gluten-free diet recommendations. So that would be an example of being vulnerable. Another thing that you could give them in exchange for asking for something would be inspiration. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I think that having inspirational quotes that speak to people, that resonate with individuals, I think that when you do something like that and asking them to tag someone that could use it the most, I think is important too, because your friends, people that are maybe going through things or are having a great season in their life, and this particular quote would be something that would really speak to them or continue to push them forward. And I think that also is a great way to get a referral. And
I think the Cake Mamas does a really good job of that, or at least we try to. We post really inspiring quotes. I don't usually just put up like TGI Friday, but my staff does, and so I'm trying to work with them on being more thoughtful in talking and speaking directly to our clientele, our ideal customer. But when I put up something, it's usually about like, go get it, girl, you can do it. It's usually something to kind of pump you up. Usually in the comments, people would be like, oh my God, I really needed this today. Thank you for sharing. And so I'll say a way to ask for a referral would be to inspire them with some sort of quote or story, and then say, tag a friend who may need this. That doesn't come off as salesy, but obviously if they're tagging a friend, I know that that friend must be going through what I'm explaining. Therefore, they're probably going to be attracted to something that we're putting out, whether it be our vibe, whether it be like they wind up on our feed and they're like, oh wow, I really like this bakery, where is it? So when I'm asking them to tag a friend, I'm giving them something first, and then hopefully it's a quote that resonates with them, and then they're giving me the referrals in return. Another thing that you can do would be, you could give them hope. So hope through storytelling.
Yeah.
You have an example of hope?
Not a specific example of hope, but I think that there are things that you can do within video or stories of particular customers that you have that, like infertility, and you're doing an infertility cake, or you're doing something that they're looking for hope. I think that also tells a really good story.
We have quite a few friends that are battling infertility right now, and so I think that that's a really good one if you were to open up and be vulnerable. Some of these kind of cross mingle, but giving them hope, because maybe we're making a cake for someone that after 7 years was able to conceive, I think would be a really fun and fantastic story. And although we don't sell infertility treatments, I think sharing that story, sharing that hope, sharing that inspiration for someone else could get them to want to tag people that maybe are going through this, and then there's a whole nother community that your business gets exposed to.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to tell you, this isn't to be salesy or, tactful and sketchy. This has to be authentic, and hopefully after, speaking to us, that we're nice people, we're caring. We're not just going to go to you and be like, hey, come buy a cake because we want to sell cakes and make a huge profit. We really want to make a connection with our customers. We have so many friends that we've attended their weddings because I made a cake for them. We have built so many strong relationships in the community with people because I sold them a cupcake, and now their kids call us auntie and uncle. And so this is really important that you guys understand. You've got to be authentic and you've got to be genuine. But I'm just trying to give you an idea or several ideas throughout this Instagram challenge to help kind of to force you to think outside of the box and to force you to have a different perspective. We're not just asking for them to come buy a cupcake. We're giving them something, which again could be vulnerability, inspiration, or hope. So now we'll get into the next one, which would be excitement. So something exciting, some exciting news that people can't wait to share. Maybe it's an exciting new flavor. Do you want to talk about that? You were talking about like the rum cupcake.
Yeah, so if you're
pina colada.
Yeah, if you're making a celebration of a new flavor that you came out with, and it has rum in it, and it has all these cool things, and you know that, hey, you know, rum is one of the things that people like. So hey, tag a friend that really loves rum, and then you know that would invite them into a situation that they really enjoy rum, so they're probably going to like that cupcake, right, or flavor.
And they probably have other alcoholic friends too, so they'll bring them along too. So that's just an example of
alcoholics
excitement.
roll in the crew, like
they do, like
wolf pack.
Oh my gosh. All right, another thing that could inspire you to ask for referrals would be give them a reason to celebrate. So for example, I was looking for the photo, but it was way far back. I think it was our 10th anniversary. We made a tiny little cake and we told our story about how we met, you know, what 10 years meant to us. Marriage is difficult, marriage is great. And we shared a story. And we were sharing with them what our reason to celebrate was. Yeah. So the hopes in that is that someone out there is celebrating an anniversary also, or has an anniversary coming up that they will be celebrating. So we're hoping to inspire them to say like, oh wow, we could do this and celebrate if we went to a bakery like the Cake Mamas.
Yeah, and then also I think you can give people ideas around how to celebrate. So if it's a birthday, or if it's a, hey, I just celebrate life, or I beat cancer, giving them
good.
Oh, yeah, thank
good
you.
job.
Giving them things like that can help them. Oh wow, that's a great way to celebrate. And maybe it's not your cake, but maybe your page just represents a story of a celebration, right, that they can actually go, oh wow, I'm going to share this with someone that I know wants to celebrate, you know, beating cancer, or, you know, whatever it may be.
Right. Good morning, Arlene. So let me give you an example, because we were talking about being authentic and making friends. So I was invited to a Girl Scout like troop leader meeting years ago. And at the end of the meeting, I was there to just talk about my business, but I wound up enrolling my kids in Girl Scouts and like really getting connected with these women. And so anyways, at the end of it, they stood up, they did an announcement, and they said, hey, we have a friend that has just undergone a double mastectomy. She's battling breast cancer. We're going to pass a calendar around and see if you guys can offer to make meals for her and her family while she's trying to recover. I was so moved by this, and since then I've utilized that practice, like when my sister had a baby, when our other friend had a baby, just different things in our lives, because I always thought, wow, what a great community. I wish someone would have done that for us when we had our kids, yeah, right? So anyways, this woman, I had to know who she was. I had to know what her story was. She's one of my great friends today. And so what we did was, a year later, when she was celebrating being cancer-free, we made these amazing cancer cupcakes that were just beautiful and sparkly, just like her. And those got reposted and repinned and all of these shares. And so I wasn't looking for engagement. I really wanted to share something that I was proud to create and proud to be a part of. And she's one of my great friends today. And yeah, so you're right there with like, hey, I beat cancer. Also, another one would be an example of a reason to celebrate would be a gender reveal cake. Yeah. Like those were not a thing 5 years ago. So now there's so many great ways to do it. You know, we do not know, and there's donuts on there and it's pink and blue, or, you know, tutus or tiaras, or no, tutus or touchdowns, things like that. So there's so many great ways, but people wouldn't know that you could have a gender reveal cake unless companies like our companies put them out. So we're showing them reasons to celebrate. And that pretty much wraps it up. So I'm going to put these in all the notes, but basically the point of today is to ask for referrals through storytelling and through examples of vulnerability, inspiration, hope, excitement, or a reason to celebrate. So we're giving you 5 tips right there. And then below in the comments, I'm going to post some Instagram accounts that I'm showing you examples of one of these 5 categories for you to go and kind of take a look and see what their feed looks like and see, 1, they're speaking directly to their ideal customer. 2, their post is either informative, useful, or entertaining. And then 3, it falls in one of these categories as far as storytelling. So I know it seems complex, but again, we're trying to get you to elevate your thought process around utilizing your social media platform, not just going on there babbling about some cake that you made this weekend and then asking people to send people your way. Like, those days are over. And also, that may work, but we're, remember, trying to elevate your game and get you to be exposed to a different level of a customer. We don't want people that are just asking you for pricing all day. Those are the types of customers you're going to get unless you elevate how you're speaking to people on your social media platforms, on your website, you know, throughout the day.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
No, and I would just say that I'm trying to not do that when you ask me.
What?
I say no, and then I say yes by talking. But I think the common
self-correct.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yes, no, I do. I think the common theme in all of this is you have to make people feel something. You know, if you're posting things that people just they're not feeling anything, or if it's just like, hey, they just scroll through and it's not something that makes them stop. Then that's when you want to reassess and say, okay, what does this say? What is my post speaking to? Is this speaking to vulnerability? Am I giving them a reason to celebrate? Am I inspiring them? But if I'm not making my audience feel anything, then I think that is not going to lead to a referral, because people want to share feelings and emotions.
Correct.
They don't want to share sales,
Right.
even though some people do. Like, hey, Kohl's is on sale. They're giving away free stuff at the register.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'm just sorry.
So
it's early.
Yeah, we hope that this helps you, and we hope to see your comments and your engagement, and let us know what posts you can craft today to ask for a referral. Happy Saturday, everyone. Have a great day. Bye. Oh, wait, really quick. We are launching a new series of challenges that's going to start on Monday. And so Sunday morning, I'm going to do a live and kind of kick that off for you guys. And then Monday through the next 7 days, we're getting into a brand new series. And that's going to be specifically, again, revisiting how to target and attract and speak to your ideal customer. So we'll see you guys soon, and have a great Saturday. Bye.